Critters in Taiwan.
I got a lot.
Yeah, it's not in the interest of time, which might be an issue at some point in the future, but
Nah,
not right now.
never.
I'm fine.
Never.
Yeah, my prep day is on Wednesdays, so I don't have to be on point,
I hear you.
But hey, we're on, so let's
Are
go.
we on the internet?
Yeah, we are.
Welcome to Critters in Taiwan, a D&D podcast about Critical Role, where a bunch of nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons & Dragons. I am Ben in Kaohsiung,
I am Tim and Tai Jung.
and we're a couple of critters in Taiwan. Dude, I got some notes.
Okay.
This was an episode.
shit.
We should probably do some house cleaning.
Real quick house cleaning. Very, very important.
We're talking about Campaign 3, Episode 33. If you're not caught up, time to go away, because I said this 2 weeks ago that in the 30s is where things start getting interesting, and it feels like this is picking up, and it certainly did.
Yes. So without spoiling anything, I'm going to jump in right there and say this is a spoiler itself without spoiling anything. This is a spoiler. Big spoilers this episode. So get the fuck out if you have not caught up, or if you don't care, I guess keep watching. But if you don't care, then why would you be here? It's complicated. But yeah, big spoilers this episode. So you've been warned. It's been signed, sealed, delivered.
Yep.
Okay.
Tonight on Critters in Taiwan, we are talking about Campaign 3, Episode number 33, Blood and Dust.
Blood and dust.
But this episode should be called Actions Have Consequences.
Yes. For sure it should, for fuck's sake.
Fuck.
Man,
Dude, this was a fucking doozy.
it was. And
I'm just gonna throw this out there because it makes me laugh. People in chat were losing their shit. They were the funniest. One of the funniest comments that I ever read. I read in the whole thing was, "No Mercy Percy has nothing on No Mercy Mercer."
just shorten it to No Mercer. Come on.
Woo, man.
He didn't seem to even wink a moment this whole time,
I got things to say about that.
Okay, I've got way more notes than usual.
The other title for this episode should just be called Trust, because there
Sell me on it.
no table in the world exists that can do that and walk away as friends if there is not trust at that table.
Really? I never think about that kind of shit. I just assume that they're going to be fine.
So I've been part of a couple of TPKs in my time as a D&D player, and they never go over well.
That's like a rite of passage, right?
Yep. There is always somebody always walks away a little bit butthurt from a TPK. And just so we're clear, this wasn't a TPK, although it came fucking close. I've been part of a couple of TPKs.
We're not sure.
Two off the top. I was trying to think about it this weekend. I think two. One in D&D 3.5 and one in Pathfinder. And the one in 3.5, people got upset and walked away from the table. The one in Pathfinder, there were some hurt feelings, and there's still some hurt feelings now.
Still, geez, I get it. So, it's a character that you got invested in. Makes sense, of course.
So, like I said, these things, if without trust, oh boy, there can be there's a lot of trust at that table. That's what I'm saying, and I'm moderately jealous about it because
got a couple of things to say about that in game.
That kind of trust stuff, man. So, without further ado, should we just sort of get right into this?
Yeah, I was trying to think, like, should we get right into rollies or just say whatever comes out first?
Let's just do some rollies.
Okay, let's just start with rollies and see what happens.
Rollies are fun, man.
Starting with a 6.
I got a 19.
All right.
Okay. I'm going to.
I have my notes separated into pre and post.
Okay, cool.
Which includes part 2. The pre part includes part 2. or second half?
I have like I have 6 pages, but the last 2 pages are like size 28 font, and there's like 3 letters on each line. Oh yeah, it's huge because I was furiously writing down the last half hour of the show. I'm going to start
The
with
last half hour. Okay. Okay.
I'm going to start
okay.
with the last 45 minutes. I'm going to start with the series of bad decisions.
Okay.
That's
a good place to start.
They made at least 4, and I probably have 5 bad decisions. Just throughout the course of this 4-hour episode, a series of terrible decisions. And I'm going to start with the very first one because it sort of leads into the mentality of what happened at the end. And it's right.
I'm a little worried about this.
Okay.
Don't mind jumping right into the end of it, but
No. I'm starting at the beginning.
From the beginning?
At the very, very, very beginning.
Okay.
Right at the very beginning, they make the very first bad decision that carried them into the rest of the bad decisions.
Right.
The first bad decision is they broke the cardinal rule. They split the party at the very beginning of the episode.
Very beginning, yep.
The first thing
When
they did.
has it ever gone right?
Exactly. So they split the party. The Paragon's Call is under siege. They don't know what it is, but they still split the party anyway. This sets the stage. So to be clear, Chetney, Imogen, and Orem go down to get Treshy. FCG, Fern, Ashton, and Laudna stay up to see what's going on up there. I'm sort of looking at this like in a big picture way.
They seem to do it very haphazardly too. It's like,
totally.
Who's on Team Treshy? Like, they just threw hands. I don't know if they even had any order to it.
No, they didn't. And that's sort of, this is what I'm talking about. They just sort of did it and they went with it, which is thematic for Bell's Hells. It's charming, but it leads to fucking tragedy, as we're going to find out, I think, in a little bit. So Team Treshy goes down and does a thing, and then Team Upstairs goes up and does a thing.
A thing. I'm not even sure what that thing was.
Exactly. I don't think they really did. But what it does is big picture, it lets them go out and do something. Oh, we're just going to go out and do this and no consequences. We're just going to go out and do this and no consequences. Again, actions have consequences. They're in the mindset, and they lucked out with all those fucking nat 20s at the very beginning.
Damn, if they rolled that well in the second half.
Nat 20, nat 20, nat 20, nat 20. There's all these
Travis
natural
did it
20s.
again, 2 in a row.
Exactly. Back-to-back nat 20s with Travis. So this lulls them into a sense of confidence, a false confidence.
As it would anybody.
Where they're feeling like everything they're going to be doing is just amazing and everything's going to be going great. And it just lulls them. And they just do these silly things and they get away with it. And then they continue doing silly things and they don't get away with it. So that's my first big point.
Were you going to list any of the mistakes, like like I said, pre and post, without?
No, I'm going to
but...
list. That's the first one. Do you want me to do the second one?
Yeah, sure, yeah. I mean, go for it.
That was my first big mistake.
Splitting the party.
Is that they split the party right off the hop, and that makes massive problems.
And you got 6 pages. We might as well blast these 5 out right now.
Okay, the second big mistake happens right before the break. Atonavo shows up and says, "Let's have a conversation, shall we?" And they attack her. That's second mistake. They don't even bother starting a conversation. They just go. Like, she destroys the wheel, and then she's like, "Let's have a conversation." And they're like,
wait,
"Okay,
hold on.
Let's go." We attack.
I feel like one of us is confused here. Mm-hmm. Was that not Odahan that said that?
Yeah, that's what I said. Odahan said, "Let's have a conversation."
You said Artanavo.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Odahan said, "Let's have a conversation."
Let's have a conversation. I've got it written down here. Odahan says, if I said Artanavo, I apologize. Odahan says, "Let's have a conversation, shall we?" And then 3 echoes appear, and they attack her.
Right. Well, Imogen comes right off with the fucking hungry sphere of shit. Right.
That's mistake number 3. That happens after the break. That's mistake number 3. This splits the party again. She puts this hungry torrent, which is, I'm not totally sure what it is, but everybody sort of it accepts that it's probably a reskinned Evard's black tentacles.
That's what it seems like.
Because it's grabbing them and restraining them, which Hunger of Hadar wouldn't do. So it's sort of nobody's really sure, but it seems like it's the reskinned Evard's black tentacles. This splits the party again because she puts it in the middle where Odahan is, and then people are on one side and people are on the other side. So again, Imogen splits the party. Again, this is mistake number 3.
Learn from history, dude.
Right. Mistake number 4. As shit starts going really, really bad, they start talking about run, and they don't agree. We should run. We should run.
Like,
we should run.
There's no unanimous decision.
Yep, no unanimous decision. This is a giant mistake.
Like Imogen was the first one to say, like, run, you know, and I don't remember who she said. I think it was Laudna. I don't remember.
I think so. This is like, there's so much crosstalk going on that if some players like Ashton goes down and then he gets back up and he starts to run, he thinks they're running. They don't know if they're running. This is a giant problem. And then that's my mistake number 4. Mistake number 5 is kind of, again, it's going to be right around, I've got a couple of them here. It's when it's kind of existential because it happens right at the very end where Laura as a player gets lost in the game. It gets lost in mechanics and where she should be more on the table. She's staring at her character sheet trying to figure out, I've only got this spell shot, blah, blah, blah. She should have just been like, this is what I do, and did a thing. And
yes, for fuck's sake, yes.
Right.
I think everybody was sitting there. I didn't look at chat, but I'm pretty sure everybody was like, well, Matthew included, him and his sometimes useful poker face, sitting there and being like, I've given you the option. Yeah. And you're not taking it.
And Laura as a player is getting so fucking freaked out. There's two death deaths at the table.
Deaths, yeah.
Orym has gone down.
Fucking warned
Fern,
you. Get the fuck out now if you haven't
Orym's
already.
dead, and Fern is dead. Chetney is rolling death saves, and Laudna is rolling death saves. That's 4.
Yeah.
At that point, Laura's freaked out. So
Ashton's just been let go. They're just leaving him alone.
Yeah. So, understandably so, Laura's freaked out. So she's trying to stare, but this is a pseudo mistake and I'm kind of going to throw it on Matt a little bit here too for not giving her sort of a Laura, what does Imogen do?
Right.
Not like a okay, what do you want to do? What's Imogen doing? Like what? It's not. There should have been a little bit of okay, shoulda, woulda, coulda. I mean, we could talk all night about that, but in hindsight,
Matt feels the same kind of pressure that the players do.
100%. So
looking at thousands, if not more,
looking at it from hindsight, it's really easy to sort of dissect and go, yeah, you could have done this, and you could have done that better, and you should have done this better, and blah blah blah. So there is a moment when Matt was trying to do narrative, and Laura is they're not in sync together, and that's my sort of pseudo 5th mistake that they made. But
okay,
ton of mistakes.
I would agree with that being a mistake.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a pseudo mistake.
I feel like Matthew was communicating well, but I'm a spectator. Yeah. I'm not feeling the same raised heart rate that they are at the table, right? So
communicating well and communicating to the players are two different things. Like he felt like he was communicating everything really well, but they weren't in sync. So
I felt he did too.
Yeah.
And the thing, I thought that she was picking up on it. I thought Laura/Imogen was picking up on it because I didn't know which one was which at that point.
Right.
And he's like saying through Odahan, like, let it go. And if you do this, everybody can survive. And she's like, okay, I'll come with you. And then I cast this. It's like, why are you still damaging her?
Dissonant whispers.
Come on, dude.
She does a bonus action to recover use a sorcerer point to recover a third level spell, and then cast Dissonant Whispers to try and make her run away because it succeeded earlier where Dissonant Whispers makes them immediately use their reaction to bolt. Right. And it worked, but I mean,
but it's still point, it doesn't ameliorate anything.
No, exactly.
She's still just going to be like, really? That's it? Okay.
It's like it's hard to.
You're clearly not coming with me if you're still attacking my. It does psychic damage too, right?
Exactly. It's hard to know if that's Laura
we know you're
or
watching.
if that's Imogen, because part of me wants to say that that's Imogen and that's what she would actually do, she'd be like, no, fuck this. I'm hurting you. You've hurt my friends. I'm going to hurt you. But then another part of me is like, that's
Preservation, though.
It's right. It's also Laura panicking. So I don't know. I'm split on that one. It's sort of tough to figure that out. But yeah.
Fucking hell. Yeah, there was a lot of shit going on. Of course.
A lot. A silly amount.
Yeah,
dude,
a ton.
Crazy stuff. So thank you for letting me go through my 5 mistakes or 4 mistakes there, because I kind of just spelled out the entire episode. I'm done.
That was like 5 different points. All right.
Tapping out.
Take a drink, take a break. All right, take a breather.
What do you got?
Okay, I guess I'm gonna try to go back to the beginning before the end here. I'm gonna choose one of these from part 1, as I've said, not the first half, just part 1 before the shit hit the fucking fan.
Right.
Let's see. I had one, but I'm changing now.
To be clear, looking at these and calling all of these bad decisions out and all of that is really me looking at it as a D&D player and being like, you never do this and you never do that, and these are the faux pas that you make at playing D&D. So, and I've made all of them. I've done all of these things. Right. So it's not like I'm like, yeah, you should never do this. Like, no, in games that I play right now, I fuck up all the time, and it's why I love D&D so much. It's awesome. It's awesome.
I think since we're talking about Imogen / Laura,
yep.
Like at that point when Imogen pushes Artana towards who? Treshy? No.
Oh, to what's his name? Ratanish. Yep.
Ratanish.
Right, Ratanish. They throw her right out. It's like, here.
She's like, they come right in, and then Travis was the first one to be like, already? Like,
you know, just throwing her out right there. There it goes. She wasn't sort of an ally at that point, and they just kind of.
Well, that's the thing, right? So everybody's just kind of reacting to the fact that she's like, and I push her towards her, and she's like, ooh, and they all kind of start talking a little bit, you know?
Yeah,
at
a lot
the table,
across,
like a lot. Like I wouldn't say it goes as far as meta, not yet anyway. But she's like, oh, but there's this, and I really think that it's just a ruse, and there's this and this and this.
Yeah.
And then eventually it comes to Liam, where he just says, "We'll find out."
Yeah.
You know, where he's the one that's just like, guys, she made a decision. This is D&D. Let's just wait and see what happens. I love that about Liam. I just wanted to give him some accolades there.
He's got a lot of experience these past couple of years of playing D&D at the home games. So he's sort of like, he's paying attention to all the different ways things can go. He's very thoughtful, very insightful. He thinks a bit like chess when he's playing D&D. He's thinking moves ahead, not reacting to moves ahead, but he's thinking moves ahead.
Yeah, especially with this character.
Cool.
Well, fuck. No, all of his characters, like he'll even say, like, my character wants to do this, even though I know it's a bad idea, you know, and he'll go ahead and do it. You know, he did that with all his characters.
He's playing chess in his mind and sort of ignoring that many times at the table, which is really, really smart. Yeah, that's the way D&D should be played.
And I love that because I'm always sitting there, like when they start talking at the table, I'm like, okay, as long as you don't metagame. And then when Liam says like, we'll find out, just like really calm and quiet, not like, hey guys, come on guys. No, he's just like, we'll find out. And everybody shut up. I'm like, I don't know if that's because of his power or because it was just time to move on.
Sorry, when Imogen throws Ratanish at throws Artana at Ratanish, a big part of me was like, well, when they started fighting Odahan, I was like, if you hadn't have done that, Artana might have come into that fight. There could have been a chance where she could have been an NPC to help out.
That really would have turned the tides, dude.
Burning bridges, yeah.
Right, and so quickly. And I think that's what Travis picked up on so quick, faster than I did.
It made me laugh because when I rewatched
I would pick up on it fast, but
when I rewatched it, there's a moment at 1:48:20 when they're still inside the fortress, and Matt goes, "You see one shape dart from the fortress to the wall, like dart across." And they're all like, "Oh, that's Artana. She got out. Artana got out. Okay." And I'm like, and I realized at that point, I'm like, that wasn't Artana. This was my second watch.
Right.
That was Odahan.
That was Odahan.
She was going out, realizing that it was a distraction, going out to fucking head them off.
Yeah.
So
head them off, to put it lightly.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Amazing.
Anyway, that's my SN. I think we're on the
Okay.
next rollie.
Let's go do a rolling.
All right. Might be doing the rollies pretty quick tonight. Just an
9.
8? Fuck,
9.
that's a good win.
My 9 beats you.
Damn.
All right, what do we got here? Yeah, I think I just want to sort of say like that about how difficult of a fight this boss fight was because of FCG being useless.
Right.
Completely being useless.
I know my SN now.
when you're they only really have one healer. Fern is a healer, and we found out also that apparently fucking Laudna is a clutch healer.
Apparently.
That Wither and Bloom spell is
She
spectacular.
just picked it up level 7, right?
Yeah, it's a Strixhaven thing. I had to look it up. It's from another book. With FCG taking stress points when he does everything now, which I'm really curious why. Well, maybe we'll find out. Maybe we won't. But he never rested. He burned all of his shit. He had nothing left, he says he has one revivify left that he held on to. We'll see. I've got a comment about that later. But when your primary healer is basically useless and out of a fight, this is you're really in trouble. Really in trouble. We go back to campaign 2, having Jester as a Swiss Army knife cleric. A lot of offense, a little bit of defense, a little bit of buffing, a little bit of debuffing, and then having Caduceus as being the debuff, all-time debuff cleric.
Yeah.
Just like Bane, bless, Grave Cleric, Channel Divinity, canceling that 20s against. It's like
fucking VIP so many times.
Right. And that's how that sort of cleric role is supposed to be played in a party, especially when they had 2 clerics. This party only has 1. And it's, sure. But this party only has 1. And for this boss fight, the FCG was kind of on the sidelines, like unable to do anything.
Wasn't in there. Never got attacked, really. You know, like.
Nope.
Oh, I got something to say there about that too. But
well, use it. That's you, because that's my comment. Is that when you're in a boss fight and you don't really have a cleric, you're in trouble.
Right.
Massive note. I know my players watch this. Curse of Strahd guys. You don't have a cleric. They haven't had a boss fight yet.
Oh boy,
it's gonna hurt them.
So I have this in my before parts. With as far as FCG is concerned, earlier, it was slipped that stress points was a thing, right? And when he got up to 4, that's when he flipped out, right?
6, I think.
Was it 6? Okay,
I think he said 6.
All right. So whatever it was that maybe he got 4 or something like that, and he's like, "Oh shit, now I got to react."
Yeah, maybe it is 4. I forget. You might be right. I thought it was 6 for some reason, but maybe it was he already had 2 and he got 4, or maybe maybe it was 4. Whatever.
Yeah,
sure.
Whatever it is. We'll
I know what you're talking about.
Get in touch down there, if you know the fucking. And so in the pretty quick in the episode, he's like, "Are there any Paragon's Call people down?" And I was like, "Yeah, there's plenty." He's like, "I go to one and I start to do Spare the Dying, but then I stop."
Yeah,
because I just don't know.
Yeah.
He's got that self-doubt like we talked about. Either, it was on the last episode, right? We're not really sure about what FCG is going to do. I think it was actually private text that we talked about.
Yeah, we don't
He
know.
might be
Nobody
on
really
edge, Like, of course he's going to do whatever he can. They can, I should say, to save his party members, of course. But that might make him... He doesn't know if that's going to give him stress points, if he understands what these stress points are. Like they talked with Joe Imahara.
Yep.
Like you just need some kind of a release of some sort, basically a long rest, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Milo back in Dressar, they were the one that was always fixing him and taking those stress points away from FCG. So that was sort of the arcane. What did Matt call it?
That's when he first heard about it, right?
The arcane disruption or the arcane something was like you're way.
There's something there, and then
something there.
Sam, not FCG, was like, "So do I just got to start fucking people?" So I think he just needs this rest, but I'm going to put these two together right here. So he's freaked out. And he's like, I'm gonna do it, and then I hesitate and I don't do it. But he didn't RP it out. He just said that's what he's gonna do, and everyone's like, oh shit, yeah. We also don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. And then you fast forward a little bit, where FCG does the one of the few times that when he says sympathetic binding, it sounds like some pathetic binding.
Right.
Like Image is taking, I think she's doing some kind of I don't remember what the fuck it was. It's in the first half, doing some kind of a save, and he's like, "Can I do sympathetic binding or some pathetic binding?"
Some pathetic binding, yeah.
So it gives her a D6, and she rolls like an 18, but it wasn't enough or something like that.
Yep. That wasn't. I think that was right after the break.
Was that right after the break?
It was, yeah, I've got it right. I've got it here because it's called the sympathetic binding, and then it's the bonded blessing, which gives them a D6. It's a bardic inspiration, reskinned bardic inspiration. D6.
As long as you are trusted companions, right?
Right, something like that. Yeah.
And then he made a point.
And then Oda. This was for the Hungry Torrent to grab Odahan and restrain her and then take the damage. And instead, Matt's like, oh, it restrains her? She's going to use a legendary resistance and to beat it.
I remember that too. I don't know if those are the same spots, though.
We might be talking about two different things, but I've got some stuff written down. Anyway.
Oh, this is back when she was reaching in for information about Esteros, I think. Before the break, after she said, like, let's have a conversation, and then she reaches into her brain. She's like, Esteros, interesting. And they're all like, oh fuck, she can do it too.
Fuck. Yep.
I think it was either that one or something around there before it went into fucking battle
after
mode.
The break. It's right before the initiative. That is when FCG gives Imogen the bonded blessing.
Right. Okay.
That's right before they roll initiative.
And then Sam makes it a point to go. Like it was kind of like interrupting a little bit. He was like, oh, and at that point, he kind of goes back a little bit and goes, ah,
yep,
kind of Scanlan-esque. And everybody just looks at him, except for Matthew. Matthew's just like, yeah, I understand. But everyone's like, what? So maybe my contention, my assertion perhaps, is that maybe Sam is aware of what gives him stress points. And maybe that's what he got there. Was a stress point?
Didn't he say that?
But I don't know why that would give him a stress point.
On foresight. Because I don't know. I'm not sure. I was thinking the same thing because he made those noises a couple of times, and Marisha goes like, oh, like looking right beside, because they're right beside each other and they're looking at each other. She's like, oh.
It'd be a fucking bloodbath if that turned, again to red-eyed FCG.
Yep. Oh, it'd be awful. It's a whole bunch
of nonsense. It'd be over. It'd be a TPK,
happen.
I think, other than FCG. And maybe Imogen.
Which made me think there's another yes end on that one. I feel like Travis forgot about the bloodlust thing, because Chetney went way down in werewolf form, under 50% of hit points, which instantly triggers the bloodlust thing, which means he has to make a save or he starts lashing out at everybody.
Oh, right. That's right.
If you go under a certain threshold, you got to make rolls
for that, right?
I think so, yeah. Yep.
That's why he attacked Orm that one time.
That's right. And I wonder if Travis forgot about it.
And Matthew and everybody else, because everything was flipping out.
which sort of made me laugh, because I'm like, when we watch the game, that whole top of the table is all fucked that way. Travis turns on people, Laudna turns on people, and she has voices in her head and shit. And Delilah, right?
It's a little less severe as the others, yeah.
And FCG goes red-eyed monster, one purple red-eyed, one-eyed monster. I don't know what the joke is there, but there's something.
Just one-eyed monster slays pussy.
Yep, there we go. Yeah, that's what I got, man.
That's my yes and. Let's keep these rollies going.
Rolly. 3.
Ooh, 17. You beating that?
I got a 3. All you.
Oh, all right. All right, keeping it there a little bit. Quick one before all the shit hit the fan. I think it was actually after, after. Taliesin still being Taliesin. I just got to give him some accolades. When Laudna goes down, or she goes down, and then it comes to her turn. And it's like she has this thing with 16 plus. She comes back or something like that.
Oh, the strength of the grave.
Yeah,
Yep.
and if she rolls a natural 20, which she did that time, they were like,
no,
it just kind of replaces that. So it's just 16 plus is a
Yeah,
natural
that
20.
was. Can I clarify on that one
Yeah,
because
go ahead.
it's super confusing. She failed the strength of the grave, and then she gets to roll for death saves. So it's sort of like one and then the other. So
Okay.
this is when she rolled the nat 20. She failed the. I've got it written down here. She goes down. She tries to do strength of the grave. It fails. Then the echo auto crits Laudna. That's 2 failed death saves. And then it's her turn. And so she.
Oh, right. That's when Delilah takes the wheel. Right.
When she does her 3rd death save, which is
This is
Delilah
it,
take
folks.
the wheel,
Yep.
and she rolls the nat 20, which means she comes back to 1 hit point.
Right.
So there was some confusion later on about that strength of the grave because she failed it. She can still use it later on, which she does, and she tries to use it again, but they rule.
I see.
They rule unknowingly that because she tried to use it, it doesn't work. That's not how that feature works. It's
the dice, right?
It's the dice. If it fails, it doesn't work, which means she doesn't get strength of the grave, which means she can use it later.
Right.
Because it failed, she could try it again, but they didn't rule that. They're sort of like, no, you already used it, so it doesn't work. It's like, no.
It's not
she
one of those
didn't
things
use
that you have to announce it before you roll, right? It's just
No,
something
it just
that
happens.
happens.
Right. It's like the half-orc primal ferocity or whatever it's called, where you drop below 0, you bounce back up to 1. But that can
Right.
only be used once. The
Right.
same
For long
with
rest, right?
for long rest. The same with Strength of the Grave. It can only be used once, but it wasn't used. So
Right.
it failed, so it didn't get used, so she still had it for later.
Right.
Anyway.
And then when she rolled the natural 20, is
Yeah.
that using it or not? Or is that
No,
the
it's
natural
not.
20
No,
bringing
that's
her
the
back
natural
to
20
1
on the death
instead?
save.
So
Because-
maybe
because
the
she-
thing should read like 16 to 19. It's
Yeah.
basically the same as a 20.
Right.
You know, because that means that like if you roll a 20, it's not used.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Because
think
that was kind of one of her things too. She's like, well, I rolled a 20, so does that mean I get both this 1 hit point? And like, well, you're looking for that second hit
You're looking
point,
for
are
that
you?
second hit point. Yeah. Yeah, they don't stack.
Yeah.
Right.
So when she goes down, when she rolls that 20, Taliesin just over on the end of the table, he just reacts. His head goes down, his arm goes down on the table.
Yeah.
And he's just, Jesus, what's going on here? But while he's down, the natural wit that I don't think he has control over, you know, we're like, Taliesin is a funny person when he's not trying. He's hilarious when he's not trying. When he's trying, it's hit or miss, like a skit show, you know.
Yep.
But when he's not trying, it's just hilarious. And this was not a huge funny point in the show. But he put his head down, and then he like quoted Chumbawamba. He's like, "You get knocked down, you get up again." And his head was still down. He just said it very quietly, and I'm like, "Excuse me, what was that?" I did the thing. I go back and I listen to it. His head's just down. He doesn't say it to anybody. He's not looking for a reaction. He's just
Totally.
naturally Taliesinning.
Totally.
I loved it so much.
Well, this leads into my SM because this is when right this moment you're talking about when Laudna gets that 3rd death save and she pops back up again. Right before that, Orem is out unconscious, Ashton is unconscious, Fern is unconscious, and then Laudna goes unconscious. That's 4.
That's a record.
That's half
they
the
spoke
party.
about it, yeah.
That's half the party out. And then, so right before that, Laudna does the Wither and Bloom, which makes, it's 3 out. It's Orem out, Ashton out, Fern out. Then Laudna does that's 3. That's the record.
It's after she got out. After she got back up, she does this, right?
No, before she goes out. She does Wither and Bloom. That's where we learned about it for the first time.
And that's what got Chetney up?
And that's what gets Fern back up.
Okay.
Well, Chetney's fine at this point. Orem, Ashton, Fern are out. She brings Fern back up, and then the echo goes after Laudna, which puts Orem, Ashton, Laudna out. 3 again.
Jesus.
Then she rolls the nat 20, comes back up. So that's 2 out. And then Otana Odahan.
It's
Jesus,
fucking confusing, man.
I know.
I have a note
Odahan.
here. Odahan,
Odahan.
Fool, Assassin Witch, Artanavo, Invisible.
Right.
I had to make two separate categories.
Odahan goes all in on Chetney, takes him way down to a bunch, which is where I think they forgot to roll for the bloodlust stuff, but that's fine. A lot of stuff going on. Then this is where things get really gnarly. I love this shit. The Echo Knight stuff, the whatever is going on, the Echo Swap, he called it.
Yeah. Oh boy.
And action surges on that one. This is where No Mercy Mercer comes into full effect.
And do this. I'm gonna keep this going. I have a yes and for this after this, or just for this conversation.
She echo swaps, action surges, and Orym becomes the very first campaign 3 death.
And this was after she was like, I guess I wasn't being thorough enough. Let's go.
Yep.
Like, I mean, I'm paraphrasing, obviously.
Yep. So when Orym goes, so he's already been unconscious. He pops back. Oh, actually, I might be wrong on this. It might be that that the Wither and Bloom brought Orym back up.
Fuck.
It might be. I don't remember. There's a lot going on here. I have to go back and watch it again. But I've got written down. Orym goes down again, and then it's like failed death save, auto crit, and then auto crit. Yeah. It's double auto crits, which brings him to the first death.
And he does two little monologues. You know, the first one he's like, I think about my husband, I think about my father. And that's when he goes unconscious.
Yes.
When he dies, it was oh God.
Yes.
You know.
And the dude, I could not read chat. It was scrolling so fast that I couldn't read it. It was amazing. People were losing their minds. And I'm like, this is when I started, like, because I don't watch chat the first time. I open up chat on my second watch at times. This one I kept it on for a lot. But it was amazing watching. It was amazing. And I was sort of like, yeah, actions have consequences, guys. You made your bed. Now you got to lie in it.
Let me, without rolling again, let me yes and to that real quick with the action economy of the, what was it, the teleport thing? What's it called?
Echo swap.
Okay. As far as I remember, I didn't quite get to that point my second watch through.
Okay.
I was a little I don't want to say confused. I was paying attention to the action economy. It seemed like she did 2 attacks and killed somebody. I don't remember who.
Yep.
I was paying attention to the action economy. She had the 2 attacks, which means she would probably have a bonus action after that.
She has 3 attacks.
Just 3 attacks per action.
Yeah, she's level, I forget where it is, level 15.
Okay.
I think level 15 is where you get your third attack.
Okay.
Or level 12, maybe level 12. I forget.
So she did 2 attacks and took this person out to death, I think.
She has 4 attacks.
And then
she's level 12, so she gets 3 per action, and then she can do
bonus action
one
if
for the
she
offhand.
does. Right. Yep. Okay, so she had so this makes sense then, because I had this action economy in my head. Because she had the 2 attacks, and then she moved the Phantom, and then teleported, and then had more attacks. I was like, she
action surge.
Usually, and then the action surge, right?
Right.
So that is hard to say.
And then
well done, Taliesin.
And the other kick in the nuts is for the table is that the legendary actions. She gets 3 per turn. And all at the end of it, every single legendary action, not every one of them, but the majority of them, I think she dashed for one of them, or at the end she dashed for a couple of them. But in the middle of the end, she was just legendary action, stab, auto crit.
Just taking
stab, auto crit, stab, auto crit. It's like
a very good use of them. I mean, that's fucking insane.
Chat made me laugh because people are screaming at the. This is why legendary actions are bullshit.
Oh, fuck off!
No, this is how you use legendary.
This is how you make a good goddamn story.
Right.
This is what makes a good game, you dumbass.
Exactly. Totally.
Let's all not forget this is a game, and we're being entertained. Let's not
Yeah.
forget this, everybody.
This is a game, and they're all in on this game. It's you. People get emotional. Maybe like I go on Twitter in the morning to get some good laughs, and when I go on when I click onto like Matt's Critical Role or Crit Roll Stats Twitter or the whatever some of those Twitter feeds are, and I start reading on the stuff, and it always makes me laugh with my morning coffee. It's people are very, very, very emotionally invested in this.
Sure.
Maybe to an in my opinion, to an unhealthy point.
It's a little enabling sometimes, in my opinion.
Yep. I mean, it's D&D. It's a game.
It's a game.
It's fantasy. I can understand how you can get emotionally invested in this stuff, but you maybe should put your device down.
Maybe calm down a little bit.
Take a deep breath. Go for a walk. Go look at some birds singing. Look at the clouds for a little bit.
Like real
Get
birds.
some fresh air.
Not some video of birds.
Yeah,
real
yeah.
birds.
Go for a walk outside. Clear your head for a little bit. And I mean, self-care, man. Take care of yourself. Don't just get so emotionally invested in this stuff. Self-care is really, really important.
Yeah.
You know, whatever you need. If this game that they're playing is really causing you to be triggered, to be damaged, to be hurt, you're maybe missing the forest. What is missing the forest for the trees, or missing the trees for the forest?
It's one or the other. I think they're both the same.
Yay!
It's like missing the ketchup for the burger. It's the same thing.
Throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Two birds with one stone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
they're all the same.
Screen door on a submarine, right?
Absolutely. Rollies.
Rollies. 13.
14.
Wow, look at that. Look at that.
All right. Well, then I'm going to skip that one. I was like, I think we already kind of answered it. Were they destined to fight her? I think that she was going to head him off no matter what.
Oh, Matt was 100%
totally like that. You know,
he
when that went over there. But I think Artana was supposed to fight with him, except Imogen fucked that up.
Yep,
you know,
maybe.
That's my opinion anyway, and I think we share that opinion.
I definitely do. They definitely burned a bridge there, for sure.
Yeah. And I do have a thing here. I guess it's similar relative to story, which I think I have the answer to after watching it the second time. I just have written down here Odahan's motive.
Okay.
Watching the second time, I think I do understand a bit more about it. It's not so simple as just like, oh, there's this and there's this. That's it. Because there's a reason that she's there and also being so fucking brutal to this party.
Oh, hell
right?
Yeah. Hell
because we've got these crates that Ashton was hired to try to go and capture at some point.
Oh, for the Treshy crates.
Yeah, before the game started, you know, all that shit. And then like Treshy's there and she knows that they have Treshy in some fucking hole for like 5 or 6 more minutes or whatever. Like,
yeah, probably more like about 8 minutes, but sure.
Yeah,
it happened quick. It happened
more than
quick.
5, right?
Yep. Yeah. Sure.
And other than that, like, yeah, she was there for obviously some other motive for what that we don't know back in Zephra, you know, when as soon as Matthew says, you definitely recognize these assassins.
Yeah. Yep.
And that immediately made me think, oh, these are the ones from Zephra, unless that's a red herring.
No, that's definitely what he meant.
It's got to be, right?
Yep. But only Orem knows that because he didn't tell anybody that.
Right. And also, when they attacked in Zephra, it's like, you got a level 20 fucking you got Keyleth right there, you know? Yeah. Of course she's going to do some shit that takes care of that. Just the one little thing that Imogen did took the 3 out, and she just had to.
Well, they only have a few hit points. They're just
in for damage.
Back up.
Glass cannons.
They're glass cannons. Exactly.
But then she can bring them right back. I don't know how many times or whatever, but
we don't know. Chat was sort of, and Reddit, when I was reading about it too, was convinced that that's what the backpack is about. I'm not so sure. I think the backpack is a lot more than that.
It seemed to kind of go that way though, because you know, like they saw it there, and
this is all new, man. Like this is all homebrew. This is where the homebrew. This is homebrew to the nth. Like this is the ultimate homebrew, where it's like, ew, who the fuck knows what any of that
maybe
means.
The nthimate homebrew. Yeah, so anyway, that's what I pieced together my second watch through of like Odahan's motive. Because the first time through, I was like, why the fuck would she give so much of a shit? Second time through, I was like, oh, there's this. All 3 things that I don't know anything about, but she does have a motive somewhere in those things which are all connected.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know. So you can either yes and or give me your thoughts on that, unless we're on the same page.
I'm on the same page. I'm completely on that page as well. It's yeah.
I'm curious about these crates, man. You know, I love that moment when Fern sends Mister, to Laudna, and Laudna's like, go after the crates, and she's like, he sees Fern with a crate, so he goes right back to Fern.
Right back to Fern. Yeah, exactly. It's like
that's amazing.
That's some good RP. But again, that's
some good DMing.
This was my first point. They were pretty not lackadaisical, but they were pretty nonchalant about the things they were doing in the first half of the episode, and it lulled them into a sense of false security where they thought that everything was going to be just fine, and so they kept carrying on like they were doing the same things. They weren't adjusting; they were just doing the same things over and over again. I mean, I don't know.
The level of doom that was impending on the second half was such a slow linear slope in the beginning, because at the end of at the break they were just like, oh, there's a fight before we go to Joe's. That's all they were thinking, Right. It was like, oh, it's one person, okay, it's going to be a bit of a fight, they're probably going to have a conversation at some point. Fucking hell. And then as soon as Ashton goes down in one economically sound attack, and he's the one. He's the grog.
He's the tank.
He's the tank. He's got the hit points. How many does he have now? I don't know.
60 something. He's got
it. Because he had 57 at level 3 or 4, didn't he?
No, not quite. They're at level 7, so that I think he's in
30s now.
He took. I wrote it down at the in that attack. He took 63 points of damage.
And that took him out. Okay, so maybe he had 57 at this point, and I'm confusing it with 37 back at some early stage or something. Okay,
It'd be level 7 if he's rolling D12s. He rolled a few D12s. He's got a good constitution. He'd be right around the 60, 70 point, right around there right now.
Okay, yeah.
So he'd taken some damage already, and who knows? Yeah. He took some damage on the when the thing crashed, and he took some damage in the courtyard when they were fending off the attacks and some explosions and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, so he was down a little bit. Yeah, but just when he got taken out, he was vocal about it. He's like, they took me out one fucking turn.
Well,
I think that's when everybody was like, oh shit, this is not a normal battle.
when he called for initiative. This is when I wrote it down here. We got 2 natural ones on the initiative, and this is where the cold table. And she rolled high for initiative, so she goes first, and that's when she takes Ashton down.
Matt mentioned that at the end. He was like, that was a huge turning point for the battle. Her rolling high.
Yep, big one. So I mean, maybe it's a different fight if she's in the middle of the initiative order or at the end. Probably it's definitely different. I mean. Look what happened with FCG when they all attacked FCG, or when FCG attacked went Red Eye, and then FCG attacks them. FCG didn't get a chance to attack because he rolled the worst initiative.
Right.
So initiative really does make a big difference in situations like this.
Totally. Come on.
Yeah. Yep. So who knows? Maybe it's a completely different fight if she's in the middle of the order. It felt like every time the table goes, the turn goes through, and it's top of the order, it's her turn, and she goes again and just starts murdering everybody.
I think the only thing that would really change effectively would be the order in which they were murdered.
Maybe.
And I was thinking by the end here,
that psionic jump and the bonus or the legendary action dashes to cut, she's just echo swapping,
oh god, when she was that's your favorite, and just use at the end of your turn, she's gonna dash. Just use her movement. That's it, and then she's right there the next.
That's what I'm talking about. Even Travis commented at one time. She's like, she's just pinballing around here, and
easily.
I'm like, yeah.
I think they got her below 50% towards the end there. Which I think Laura, as a player, was thinking, because she's like, oh, the jester person is like, maybe if I hit her hard enough, I can take her out. It's like, no, you can't.
No,
she's way too high.
Let's go back farther than that. I mean, this is some Vexalia stuff.
Sure, yeah.
This goes way back to campaign 1 in the beginning. And,
Murder. She had healing powers back then, right?
yep.
I forgot what it was. It's been so long.
Ranger. Yeah, they get cure wounds and stuff. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Fucking hell, man.
Yeah, man. It's like this is you're trying to be a hero all the time. It's tough. You can't always do everything. I'm just gonna throw out a quick little yes and before we do another rollies.
Okay. And before the next rollie, I gotta rock a piss real quick.
Okay,
I
sure.
saw this coming.
I was thinking at the end of this episode as Imogen is flying, and like the lightning, and then there's like this the whole shebang with this boss fight where there's players down all over the place. All I was getting were shades of Emperor Palpatine versus either Anakin or Luke, either of the Skywalkers, the father or the son.
Yeah.
It was like just, yes, give in to the anger, feel the hate. It was just like that. It was, yeah.
Yeah. Matthew was pretty damn clear about it. Yep. He really was. All right, I gotta rock this piss before it ends up on my floor. I'll be back in a second.
I'll entertain them. Sure. So I've got a couple of things to say about this. Which one should we talk about here while he's gone? Or maybe none of them. I don't know. I don't think I'm really going to talk about anything because I think I've kind of talked about. I know what I'm going to talk about. What we didn't talk about was when they went to the break and Matt brought out this map. This was one of the most beautiful maps I've seen in campaign 3. There was a line, there was a little clothesline with some lights on it. There was all kinds of little crates and barrels and a couple of buildings, and then there was a big open space in front of the thing, and it was just a gorgeous map. I really enjoyed that one a lot. What else do I gotta say? I don't know. Not too much else.
You're
Yeah.
gonna say tons of things, I'm sure.
I could. Shall we do another rollie and then call this? Because I'm getting kind of tired.
Yeah. I think I got.
we
I
covered a bunch
may
of
have
stuff.
2 more rollies in me at most.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Let's do one. 3 again. There was
A
2
2.
Whoa. Wow, it's like back to back to back.
We're neck and neck in here.
Okay. I'm going to go right to the
shit.
I'm going to go to episode. Are you back?
Yeah. I just had to do the sequence of the rollies, you win, and then
Okay. I'm gonna go to episode 34.
Okay. You guys remember that one?
Here's the path to success. FCG has to heal Laudna because she's at 1 failed death. If she fails, she's out. So FCG has to heal her first, or somebody has to. Then he has to revivify Fern. Fern has to get up and revivify Orem. And this is all contingent on them having 2 diamonds, 2 300 gold piece diamonds. And I don't really know where Chetney is in all of this.
I also don't. I know at some point FCG got a diamond.
He said he has one at the end of the episode.
He requested one.
He said,
I think with Eshtaros, I believe it was. He was like, "Can I actually get that in this form?"
Yeah, he said FCG Sam said, he's like, I've got 1 revivify, 1 slot. So revivify is a 3rd level spell. Yeah. He's like, I have 1 revivify.
Would you get a level 5?
But there's 2.
Level 5, you get a 3rd level spell?
You get a level 7.
Level 7? Oh,
yeah, I think they just
clutch.
Yeah,
okay.
I think they just got them. Fact check me on that, but I'm fairly certain. So he said he's got 1 revivify, and we know that Fern as a druid gets revivify. So if they have enough diamonds, 2 diamonds, now it's going to get really fucking weird if Laudna fails a death save and then she's dead. Things are going to get really strange because that's 3 and they probably don't have enough.
Why wouldn't they get strange? It just means that some people don't come back. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
At which point, hey, that happens.
Yep. Start rolling.
Like I'm sitting there like
new characters.
When Orem fell, I mean, don't call it a prediction because that's not what it felt like. But I was like, Orm's going to be the first to die because of a certain reason, and that's not why he died. He didn't die because he was protecting somebody, but he was the first to die. But that doesn't count as a win. You know, it's like, oh, I called it. No, but Liam / Orm were ready to die, even though Orm said when he died a huge feeling of failure, right?
Yeah, well,
like he failed to, like if he's the first
totally
to die, like he's failed everybody in his party, right?
Yep. And
Which,
not only that, but
hurt,
also
you know?
but also failed his trial, failed the Arashari. He's failed.
Yeah, he's on a mission, right?
He's
got
on
to go back and
that's
report.
right. He's on
And
a
now what
mission
are they
from
gonna do?
God.
Mission from Gad. Fucking Gad, he needs his reports. Get back to him, all right? Don't leave him hanging. Yeah, so like, and one of the thoughts that I had was that like, okay, so Orm's dead, Fern is dead. This might actually satisfy some of those fucking cunts that were upset that they had non-new characters coming into the third campaign. They're like, what? These characters from EXU?
Yeah.
Fuck off. That's not
remember
new.
that?
I'm upset.
that?
I'm going to write my mom about it. You know? But no, hey, maybe they're both dead. The only person still alive is fucking Dorian somewhere off in the fucking whatever that was in campaign 3.
Remember when Orm even said, or Liam says that, he's like, as he's falling, he's reaching into his belt and pulls out the sending stone for the third EXU member. Yeah.
The thing is, okay, the sending stones. Wait, sorry, no, you can go to the one, right? Whoever has the other one, you go to that one, right?
No, you talk to them.
That's it.
It's sending.
It's just sending.
The sending is the spell. The message spell.
Right.
Message.
I'm aware of that.
Sending is the big one. That's the 25-word one.
Okay, maybe I had that wildly misunderstood. I really thought that it was something where it's like anytime you could just
come
right back here. That seems a little powerful for EXU.
Cast the spell sending.
Okay. So just like he's like, hey bro, sorry, you know.
Yep. He's used it. He used it once before, and he talked to Dorian for a
once per day, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Per day, per long rest, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Well, it's an object, so it's not a long rest. Yep. So it must be once per day, yeah.
Once per 24 hours usually is how those work.
Yeah, and like that. Oh man, Liam knows how to pull those fucking heartstrings, man.
Oh, totally.
Like
totally.
And just so him and Fern are out, and like everybody's kind of slop jawed, including myself.
Dude, the way that episode, the theatrics that Matt pulled at the very end, and everything goes. What did he say? He's like, everything all around you, the bricks start coming off the building. Everything turns a deep red. Imogen's body turns red. The lightning tattoo starts arcing up and glowing brighter and brighter, and everything starts swirling and swirling, and then white. And that's where we're going to end. And everybody, the table was not ready for that one. They often are ready for his, and that's where we're going to end. They were not ready for it this week. They were like, no, what? No. Ashley with, no, can't we just play 8 more hours?
She's always the one saying that.
I know.
That's so the only drawback to doing the Tucker thing where I go back 10 seconds, seconds. Because if I can actively not look at the timeline and I won't notice how much time is left. But I did at the end there. I was going back 10 seconds, frequently, just to see people's reactions, to see people's looks on their faces. Because I was doing it on the big screen, not my fucking phone this time. So I was actually watching it this time. And then I saw how much time was left. I'm like, oh, he's going to end it soon. And this seems perfect. It goes white. And that's where we're going to end it.
Yeah. When he said that, I'm going to give myself a little bit of kudos here. When he said that, I was sort of sitting on the sofa going, that was awesome. And then Travis goes, that was awesome. And
nice.
I had my little fucking moment there. I said it a split second before he did. I was just like,
you thought there was an echo? What? Huh?
So good. So good. I just sort of sat there. I just sat on my sofa going, that was awesome. And then he says,
so good. I mean, by far the best episode they've had. They have so many entertaining episodes where they're just entertaining people being entertaining people.
Yeah, man.
But this one, just all the things involved, Listen, Chetney was a fucking riot, as he always is.
I've told you this many, many times. My favorite parts of Critical Role are the combats. And this was 4 hours of combat, Tim. 4 hours of combat.
And I'm always on the other side. I like the RP sides,
Oh,
The combat's just kind of like, okay, they're into combat. I can start, watching something else and listen to it at the same time.
This was something special. This was
It
a
was.
very, very
Oh, it
different
really was.
kind of
Especially
combat.
when I was with them on that slow linear incline of impending doom.
Oh yeah, no,
just
you're
like,
this is
whoa,
bad.
this is
It's
bad.
again.
It's again.
Hey, listen, man, I got nothing left.
You got nothing left? Should I
I'm
even
done.
roll, or should I just say a couple of things here real
Yeah,
quick?
go for it. Say a couple of things. I'm done. I'm literally out. I mean, the Marisha's comment, "Laugh so you don't cry," hit home so much to me. I'm
I
like,
didn't catch that.
What a beautiful sentiment. Laugh so you don't cry.
When did she say that? After
Right at the end.
Before
Not at the very end, but it's in the last 45 minutes. It's right around the 3.5 hour point. Yeah, it's like in the last 45 minutes.
It's a very laudna thing to say.
Mm-hmm. Laugh so you don't cry.
Like,
I think
in the same vein as the worst things happen to me, why shouldn't I be happy, right?
Yep.
Fuck, man. All right, well, I got two things here. Couple quick things. I'll start with the maybe slightly bigger thing. Matt really let FCG hide.
Oh yeah.
Like, he really gave him that advantage.
Oh,
like, he
100%.
found reasons to let him hide there.
You're shiny and metallic, so you can get
and you're next to
advantage
a
in there,
metallic thing, but it's a totally different color. But he's like, you know what? I'll give you advantage. He's like, but I have disadvantage on this. He's like, I'll give you advantage anyway. It's okay. Like, Matt and Sam perhaps know something that we don't. That's something I really noticed, and I didn't get to that point the second time I watched through.
Totally possible.
First
Totally
time through,
possible.
it was strong enough for me to write that down.
Sure.
He really let him hide. He's like, dude, we both understand what's going on here, and only you and I know how to actually fix this, if anybody's actually going to come back, etc. And I think that's what he was doing. What they were doing is, you're going to hide and you're going to successfly do it. I mean, you could still roll like shit, but I'm giving you advantage. For fuck's sake, we need it, right? But dude, if three characters are dead, two. Just the two, right?
2 and 1 with 2 failed death saves.
Right. So they're and 2 with 2 failed death saves.
I don't think Chetney has failed death saves. He maybe does.
He's just unconscious. Fuck, man. I'm right before everybody's dead. So I'm like right before that on my second watch through on the balcony right now.
Chetney is on 2 failed death saves and 1 success.
Okay.
Yep.
And,
so we have
that's it. And 2 people are dead, and the other ones are conscious.
Yep.
Is that what you got written down there?
2 no. Laudna is unconscious. Chetney's unconscious. Fern is dead. Orem is dead.
Right. And Laudna has not rolled for death saves yet.
Yep.
Okay.
No, she has.
I'm not
two failed death saves. Chetney and Laudna both have 2 failed death saves.
Okay, so what I was saying, so 2 people with 2 failed death saves and 2 dead people.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
okay.
exactly.
Okay.
Yep. 4 down.
Yeah. And I got hopes for Laudna because basically 16 to 20 is she's back, right?
Yep. We'll see how they roll with that.
Yeah.
That'll there'll be some maybe some finagling there. It's hard to know.
Yeah.
And listen, man, a lot could happen. They may get transported all to the moon, and Odahan heals them all. A lot of things can happen.
I don't think this white thing is physical.
I think they're going to Rudis.
I think it's going to be a vision of it. I think it's not going to be real. Because if she's saying like,
level 7, man,
let yourself get in, like let yourself go, and if she actually did finally, for fuck's sake, let herself go after so many goddamn, strong ass hints from Matthew that we picked up on that maybe she didn't. Yeah, but I still think it might just be a vision of some sort. I don't think it's going to be physical, but that's what I think. We'll see what happens in the next episode.
Man. It's so hard to know. I can't wait for Friday.
Last thing, and that's tomorrow for us. Hey, no, that's not tomorrow for us. That's this week. Sorry.
Wishful thinking.
Tomorrow's Wednesday. That's Arms Day.
Yep.
I got them confused. Last thing, the RP after Orm died, everything got super serious, right? And then also Odahan was looking at Imogen. I'm saying Orahan, not Matthew, and Imogen, not Laura. And he's sitting there just saying, like, I don't have any quotes, but like he's looking at her in character. And I don't know if Laura's going to do character or not, but she's going to look at Matt while he's doing it. And Matt doesn't flinch a wink when he does this shit. He's looking at this person he loves and cares for as a player, and just saying, like, I'm going to kill everybody you love right now with a straight, mean, evil face. And Laura just looks at it, you know, and she's either in character or not. And she's like, okay, so what should I do next? You know, like you were saying at the very beginning of this,
what I was saying.
the trust. Like if there was not that trust there, she'd be like, God, this guy's an asshole.
Yeah,
you know,
kinda.
But it's just RP, and it's just really good RP on both their fronts. That's right. You know,
this is
watching it. It's kind of like, how do you do that?
100%, man. 100%. There. If without that trust, this doesn't work. Like I said, it couldn't. It takes a very special table, and I'm quite jealous of that table. I'm jealous of any table that works like that. They're not the only one. I've heard stories about other tables like that too. And I'm sure there's many of them out there. And if you're part of one, congratulations. Cherish it, treasure it, and love it, because it's a special thing. I know.
It's like, man, if I was like DMing a table like this, you know, and I looked at somebody with that fucking stern, I'm in character thing, and be like, if you don't give in right now, everyone's going to die. And I keep the look. At the end of it, I, as a person, would be like, it's just character. You know, I'd be like, it's just a character. You know, just to make sure that we're cool.
Well, he's said it many times in the past, right? It's not me. It's I didn't kill you. I don't kill you. It wasn't me. It's them. It's so and so. It's him. It's her. It's they. It's whatever.
Yeah, who should not be named was one of the first ones that really said it at the table. It's like, when I get in there, I'm just the character. I'm just a 12-year-old kid playing a game. You know. Yep.
There was a big part of me that was going, he's out Brennaning Brennan. Like this whole thing is just like, wow, this is good. It's really good.
His stature, his power over everything, just
the
unrelenting.
vest, the Beauregard vest that he rocked from the
that he looked
right at the beginning.
In. Yep, I like the looks of that thing too, man. It's sleeveless and it's got a hood.
I'm tempted. I looked on the shop. I'm not gonna lie. I'm tempted.
Nice for fucking winter over here, man. You got a nice little hood and you can wear a nice thing under it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Flannel. I know.
I'm kind of tempted.
I know. It's a cardigan, right? So it's it'd be nice. I know. I might. It's got pockets.
It's my second favorite color. I mean, you know,
I'm not a big light blue fan, so it's the cobalt blue color.
Yeah, that's why I'm tempted instead of sold. Yeah. All right, my whole page is scribbled out.
I'm good, man. I've gotten all. I feel there's some catharsis going on right now. I've let it all out. I've been thinking about this all weekend and about all this stuff. It's just what an episode.
Yeah.
What an episode.
And Ben and I did not talk about this at all this last week.
Radio silence for a reason.
Yeah, he finished before I did, and then and now I understand why. And we didn't say anything. And also today we're just like, let's not talk before stream. Let's just start it and then just get it out. I think both of us just needed that release.
Yeah, man.
Just like FCG.
I mean, I've got a few more points here that I could bring up, but they're not worth it. They're just points. The theater of mind stuff and the
I got two tiny things about an actor at the table, but it's not important. The episode is way more important than any of this shit. The path to how they get everyone back up is tough. So it's going to require either they do or they don't. Either they do or they don't. Yeah, and I'm good with both. Good with either. That's exactly. If Orem dies, it's fine. Like that's kind of Orem's job. I mean, frankly, I've been saying it for however long this campaign's been going on. When Fern dies, I mean, it's not that consequential to the story at this point, right? No. It just means that there's going to be some sad ass motherfucking people, but Matt's the only one that has to fucking play that out, right? If they even do, maybe, because they'll just be like, we fucked up big time, and they're just going to continue on doing some other shit. Right. And you got Opal, you got Dariax and EXU, where they learn about these. Mm-hmm. If that ever comes, I'm sure the crown has to come back in at some point, right?
Maybe
The Spider Queen crown.
the spider. Yeah, the Loth's crown. Yeah, crown
feel
of
like that
thorns,
was,
crown of madness, crown of whatever it's called. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was taking a hold of Opal, which was my favorite version of her because it seemed like some
Yeah.
non-annoying acting, if I can be
Right.
so blunt.
We don't. Yeah. Yeah. We've
Anyway,
talked about this.
we'll see what the future holds.
Hey.
Yeah.
Listen, man. 34 is going to be amazing.
Yeah. And it's
A
happening
lot of
not
questions.
tomorrow. Tomorrow's Arms Day. Friday.
3 days.
3 days.
Hey,
And
man.
nothing in between, right?
Nothing in between. Yeah, nothing. We got 3 days of contemplation.
Jeez.
All right, buddy. Let's wrap this up.
Sounds good to me.
I gotta take that pooch out. She's,
Hey, cute little pupper over there for a little walkie poo.
Yep.
Yeah, she's on my screen, but not this one. As always.
She's over there. She's over my shoulder.
Cool. All right, well, if nothing else, then hey, y'all, don't forget to love each other. And is it finally Friday? Peace, y'all. Oh, wait,
Peace.
I forgot to say, like, if you have anything to say, get in touch. Yeah, y'all know that. Peace, y'all. Get in touch. Love you. Bye.